Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of SimCity. What on earth happened last episode? You may have noticed that was not my footage of the episode, that was Doc M's. I am recording this immediately after, hopefully I was able to inform you of that at the time. But what happened? Well, I decided to do a live stream earlier in the day and that changed my DxStory settings so that it wouldn't record a file to my hard disk, it would just stream it to my streaming software, which is XSplit. And I forgot to change it back. It is a nightmare having a program where you need to go through, change a bunch of settings each time you want to record or live stream, and I was so baffled. I was trying to find the file on the hard disk, I kept recording and it took me a while to figure out what happened. So that's why you saw Doc M's footage in the last episode, but thank God it was the meeting because it was all of us talking and the message would have got put across just the same if it had been my own footage. So anyway, the SimCity series so far has been a lot of fun. You guys have been, really great with the feedback, and I do appreciate it. And now I feel like things are going to be quite exciting moving forward because we're going to do the Great Works project. I haven't seen anyone else do that. I don't watch a lot of other SimCity videos actually, but I'm interested to see what will happen there. So why don't we take a quick look? And we have got 25 tons of alloy over there already, which is what I checked last time I played this. And let's come back to the city. I'm also really excited about moving into the new area. I kind of feel like we've reached our limit with this city. The last few episodes we've been kind of micromanaging everything and discussing a lot, trying to figure out what's going on with the game. And as you saw us talk about in the previous video, it's just, this game it's a simulator, but it doesn't make a lot of sense, it's not logical to do one thing like it would be in reality and then that translates into the game. It's always very finicky and you have to kind of figure out what the game is doing and play around that, which isn't very enjoyable. And so this city I feel like has been a really good start actually. I feel like I've managed it very well. Obviously I've got a lot of money and a lot of income, which is great, and it's been enjoyable, but we are probably going to be moving on. Now, it's kind of a shame to leave this city behind, so what I plan on doing is, maybe in each episode come back here for a few minutes and just play in this world in my spare time, or at least in this city right here, and continue progressing it a little bit. So hopefully we'll have that to make those future episodes that more enjoyable. But let's talk about what we are going to do this episode, because we have an objective now, which is to get a lot of recycled goods for the Great Works project, which is the solar farm. So we need tons of plastic and alloys, and we are going to focus on that. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to up our recycling centre and maybe build another one. So if we go over to the one that we have at the moment, and let's just zoom in on this and check out its properties and all of that. It's alloys and plastics, so those two there. We have tons of metal, and I think we can actually expand this. Now, due to the roads around it and the way we've laid this out, this might not be possible, but let's have a look anyway. You can see we can have 4 of these attached, so it really doesn't look like... Nope, there's 3 spots there that are taken and 1 over there. Okay, so anyway, let's look at the waste disposal statistics on the side there. You can see 1,500 garbage cans collected per day, and oh my god, look at how many recycling ones there are, 23,000. Well, it is 10 in the morning, almost 11, so these numbers will be going up throughout the day, but I have been keeping my eye on them recently, and they're quite low. The city has really expanded, look at the size of it, and now the waste management isn't so great. So I think we should build ourselves a second recycling centre, and we can build 4 things attached to it. So why not build alloys and plastics, since they're the things that we need for the great solar farm. I'm also contemplating where to put it, maybe in this region here. In fact, we could have a road that comes off of this, and then it will be right next to a trade depot. Now I was thinking about building another one of these, maybe down in this area, but let's not focus on that at the moment. Let's focus on getting ourselves this new recycling centre. Okay, let's draw ourselves a road going out from this one. And how far back do we want to go? Well, we've got to think about the size of the recycling centre. I think we need to come behind the trade depot. And do you know what? There's a limit to how many of these little yards you can build on the back of it. And I'm going to stretch my road around so that we don't interfere with that. But I think that limit might be able to be expanded by building a trade HQ. So let's come over a little bit further. and then we can use some of that space to do that if it is the case. That might be too far along. Let's just do that all the way over to that grid line. Destroy that, and let's build ourselves where is it? The recycling centre. Okay, so do we have room? We have plenty of room, that's great. And we can fit all the extra plots on the back there as well, so let's do that. Does this also collect... No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't collect waste. It has two types of trucks, one that takes it to the trade depot, which is over there, and then the other one that collects all of the recycling. So, let's go and build a little expansion on the back. What? Clicking in the wrong place. Okay, let's see what this is. Plastic, that's great because we want 2 of those and 1 of alloys, I do believe, which is that one there. So let's put a plastic one there. Alloy and alloy, and this is a complete experiment as well. I don't know if having this many will really contribute to the amount of extra recycling that we can do. But let's go down and put these recycling. Yeah, those ones. In fact, we're gonna go out and spend all of our money and put down as many of these as we can. We'll build it on this side over here. Might have to build some on the other side as well, actually, it looks like. Yep. Okay, looking good. And then let's put down some of these as well. They can go in that gap there. I don't know why you can't put the other ones in there. It kind of makes sense that you could, since it's space next to a road. But there we go. And look, some... Ah, okay. These must have come from the other place. I thought these were just regular cars at first, but no, they're recycling ones. And it could be that they've come out from the other place, and maybe this is like a closer area for them to cycle, to travel back to. Now we could also do something a little bit sneaky here. I've just had an idea. If we put in a dirt road, then it's not going to create an intersection, and possibly we cannot draw through placed buildings. I'm going to bet that there is either a sign or something. Yep, look, a school bus stop. But yeah, we got to think about the excuse me, the AI, because we're going to have traffic coming from this part of the city, and they might try and take a shortcut this way. Whereas the trucks coming from this side, they'll see this as the shortest way to the recycling centre. Anyway, it's going to be a bit of a experiment, so why don't we just go ahead and do that. I'm going to have to move that sign though. That is in the wrong place, and I'm clicking on all the wrong tabs. Okay, so why don't we put that there and then demolish that one. Okay, now we should be able to build a nice dirt road. There it is. Let's see what happens with the traffic. That is actually the last thing I expected to see happening. People are just making random U-turns. Maybe they were going to do that here anyway. That is so weird that they do that. And it looks like we're going to have people using this as a shortcut, and now they've got traffic coming from this way. This is not what I wanted. I think this is just going to cause more congestion, so let's get rid of it. You can see now if our trucks decide to come through here, they're going to have a bad time, so nope, goodbye. We've also got some abandoned buildings in the city. Let's go around and remove some of those. So, too many deaths, building fire, abandoned building for sale. Let's leave that one and see if someone buys it. Too many deaths. Do you know, I can't solve that situation. I've tried opening the clinics, building hospitals. This game is strange. I'm sure you heard me rant about that last episode. Okay, so that can go. Alright, so now it is a waiting game. We can actually speed up the city a little bit. Normally I have it in this speed all the time, the cheetah speed. Which I think is kind of cheaty. Well, it allows you to get a lot of money like I have, you know. Leave your city running while you're just casually playing, having a look around on that speed, and then you'll gather lots of money. Which is a really good tip, actually. Okay, so this is closed, so it's not going to make an impact anytime soon. So I'm going to take a little break, let the time pass by, and we'll see what happens. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on around the city. You'll notice that I'm in the negative down the bottom there. And I'm actually going to go check that my recording settings are correct. And of course they are. I checked them before I started recording. I got a little bit paranoid there with all the bad recordings that's been going on lately. It's been quite frustrating. But anyway, I'm in the negative because I've set up a clinic down here. Now, the death problem in my city is apparent, and Over here at City Hall they were complaining about it, so I thought, well, why don't we do a little experiment. This bit down here is kind of isolated. I removed all of the industrial areas from here and replaced them with housing and built them a little clinic, so hopefully these will start treating people. So far they've treated 9 people this day, which is interesting. Let's have a look at our main clinic. 2 patients, so there's all this death in the city, there's ambulances. I can't help but feel it might be caused by the amount of traffic congestion that we have. Maybe it's so bad that the ambulances can't get to the place they need to in time and the people die. But down in this area there's less congestion, so they're able to treat more people. What else did I do down here? I did do something else. I think I just picked a few little silly spots like here where it let me zone just to get in a few extra people over here as well. And let's have a look at these figures because I was checking these out again. Now when I removed the industrial area, this went from around 8,000 to 7,800 and the amount of commuting people went up. You heard me right, it went up. It just does not make sense. Also this number has been stuck like that for absolutely ages. It just, I don't know, this game is very strange and it's hard to kind of get along with it. Now look here, we've got a problem. Over 1,000 unsatisfied shoppers, and in the same department we have 2,700 commuting in. It's just, I don't know, the numbers are strange. But anyway, over here I have zoned in a little more industrial. These look like they are the lower wealth type. Yeah, tech level very low, which is interesting because all these ones over here are high, but then they're next to an avenue as well, so I don't know what's going on there. It looks like they're upgrading now as well, yeah, to the next tech level. But I was hoping that maybe that'll balance out some of the jobs a little bit, but it doesn't seem to budge, does it? So anyway, we were experimenting to see what would happen with the recycling centre. All output lots full, production stopped. That is not good. Why have these not been picked up and delivered? I think it's probably to do with the trade depot, which is something that I've overlooked actually. Yeah, we can see that we're completely full here, so we're going to need another trade depot. Now, we can't add another lot. We can add more freight trucks. How do I not have all the freight trucks on there? I did reposition this recently, I think, so maybe I just forgot to do that. Oh, that's not good, is it? Well, I was about to look into building a trade HQ, which is the headquarters, but maybe we don't need to do that. And that doesn't have a lot of freight in there. I'm wondering if we should swap these ones over to recycling materials like the other one has. Really not sure what's going to happen there, but that has all the delivery trucks, so we'll leave that be for now. Let's go and have a look at the trade. Trade is something that we want to do in this city, and I think that building a trade HQ might be a good idea, so let's have a look. Amass a fortune and import and export. Sorry, amass a fortune as an import and export master. Buy from the global market at low prices and sell when you can to make the most simoleons. Make profit from the global market and expand your trading options. Well, that doesn't tell me that I'm going to get, you know, more features for my trade depots, but it sounds good. We could build it there, you know, it'd fit in so nicely where I've just zoned that extra industrial. Can't put it on the other side of the road. We could perhaps get rid of some of this stuff over here. Like if we put it there, we're going to get rid of a residential building. Yeah, we'll get rid of it. Why not? It fits in just the right space as well, which is cool. Oh, that's something completely different. A processor factory. We could look at doing that, you know. That would contribute to the Great Works project, and also it will make us some money as well. But there you go. We have a trade HQ. Very cool. Let's open that thing up. Leaderboards. Interesting. And there appears to be nothing available. Filter by friends, my regions, global. Let's have a look at the global for this. No data available, very good. Past 12 months of city history. Okay, that's city. I was going to say, this game hasn't been out for 12 months, EA. Anyway, we can edit this. What can we do? We can add a sign, that's always good. And that means we have to remove a building, so probably not going to do that. Yeah, we're not going to bother. Now we can build an electronics division. So that gives us access to the trade port, plastic alloy processor, TV and computers, storage lots at the trade port. Okay, that's interesting. Then the metals is for, yep, all of that, and then this one, petroleum for oil and stuff. Okay, so there's not one for the recycling materials, although I think one of those might have come under metals. It looked like it was for ore. This isn't being used here, is it? So let's get rid of those extra ones at the back, and look, the limit is still the same, so the trade HQ didn't help that at all. And we are going to, in fact, I should have kept one of those, because we're only after two types now, the alloys and the plastics. So let's plop those back down there. Hopefully they'll help make a difference. Maybe, yeah, these look a bit full. Let's see what's happened over here now while we've been doing all of that. Okay, so they've taken the plastics and the alloys. The metal is still full. I wonder if we actually set up a plot for that, because that's been full for a long, long time. Let's go have a look. So we have regular freight, which is empty. That's not good. Alloys, metals, and okay, so it's all good. Another thing we have to do is make sure that this is actually exporting. So use locally? No, we want to export that. We want to export all of these. Why is this not set up? Do you know what? When I think when I rebuilt it recently, I didn't do it right. And that is going to contribute to the income for our city as well. So it's a good thing that I've noticed this and yeah, sorted out the problem. Okay, so we're exporting everything, which is great. I don't know if having used locally means that it sends it to the Great Works. We should go check that out, because yeah, look, we're putting that we're sending it over, but how much does it send over? Because we have our own settings within the city. But there you see we've done 2,000 plastic bottles, 45 tons of alloys. It is going to take a really long time, I think. This has been about like 45 minutes to an hour of me playing, recording and like AFKing in between, and yeah, it's going to take a long, long time to do that. We do not want to volunteer any extra materials, trucks, or yeah, vehicles. Yeah, let's just pop back into the city. Oh, and our population has dropped down. That is not good. So the death problem in our city seems just as apparent as ever. This has probably made not much difference at all, has it? Still just treating a very small amount of people. We got a lot of deaths. It's all down to traffic, I know. It's got to be. It makes so much sense. And look at this. This traffic system is terrible. We have too many people in our city. But anyway, it's been fun getting this up and running. Let's have a look. You can see we're bringing in materials there, and that was extremely loud for me. I don't know why. We weren't zoomed in on it. And our metals are still full as well. Well, anyway, I'm actually going to end this episode a little early. It is very late right now, and I really want to go to bed. And I just want to say, if you want to give some feedback on this video, a like would really be appreciated. I've had some horrible times with recording lately, things going wrong. My episode's not recording, it's been a real pain. But yeah, it's all good now, and hopefully I can keep on top of it and those things won't happen again. But there we go, that is another day in Avalon's Nest, and another episode of SimCity. So there'll be another one tomorrow as always, so thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.